Welcome to the Wisdom Domicile with Pastor Ted.
Hello, welcome to the Wisdom Domicile, where the wisdom of God prevails. I want to discuss with you today the principle of life. I want to discuss with you the principle of life. And I believe that this will be a blessing to you. The principle of life. What is the principle of life? The principle of life can be considered from three major aspects. One is spirituality. Two, principles. And three, virtues. Spirituality, principles, and virtues. Let's talk about spirituality. The first dimension, which is the thoughts realm, doesn't have any space or time, and therefore it has no matter. Matter is anything that has weight and occupies space. Matter creates limitation. If I put a table in front of me, I cannot go through the table because the table is matter. But then there is also thoughts in the thought dimension. You can create your life, you can create your destiny by the power of imagination. The spiritual world is a foundational world for success. You cannot become successful physically until you build the right foundation spiritually. So whether in your business, whether in your marriage, whether in your job, employment, anywhere you find yourself, for you to become successful spiritually, you have to build the right foundation. For you to become successful physically, you have to build the right foundation spiritually. Even in our natural human setting, a foundation is built before you can construct your building, and nobody sees the foundation, although it is there and it holds the building. That is how life is. So your natural life, your human life, for you to become successful on earth, you need to have the right spiritual foundation. But the thing is that the fallen man, that is, if you're not born again, if you don't know Jesus Christ, the fallen man is of a lower order in the spiritual world. So the fallen man is of a lower order in the spiritual world. But when you give your life to Christ, then you become a recreated human being, a regenerated man. You are at the same frequency with God. So if you are born again, you are at the same frequency with God. But the other person who is not born again is of a lower order in a spiritual dimension. The substance you create with determines the spirit that backs it. Let me explain that. If you create your life with a substance from God, then the power of God will back your life. If you create your life with a substance from the devil, then the power of the devil will back your life. So no matter who you are, regardless, if you want to become successful on earth, you need to have the right foundation in the spiritual world. And it is either God is backing you or the devil is backing you. You cannot become successful on earth without power. It is not possible, because there are so many forces on earth that seek to sabotage you and destroy your destiny. So you need a higher power to back you. And it is either the devil is backing you or God is backing you. There has to be a spiritual power that is backing you. Because for you to become successful on earth physically, there should be a spiritual foundation of success you have built. And you do that by the backing of a spiritual entity, either God or the devil. But I recommend that you choose God. So after you've obeyed the spiritual laws of success, you have to now come to the natural, you see. So now spiritually, we've consulted God, and God has helped us build the right foundation we need to become successful on earth. That is only one part of the equation. We now have to come to the physical world and obey the principles of success, like creation, like seeking, like diligence, and the principle of faith. These are principles you can apply in your earthly endeavors for you to manifest what God has given to you spiritually, like management, leadership, and planning. These principles will build structures in your life and structures in your company if you have one, or structures in your organization. So management, leadership, planning, these are earthly principles that you have to obey. So even though you've prayed and then spiritually God has helped you to build the right foundation, if you don't obey the natural principles of life, you will still not become successful. Nobody can sleep on a foundation. So if you build a foundation for your house, your structure, but you don't build the structure itself, you can't live in it. It is the same thing. If you build a spiritual foundation with the power of God, but you don't obey the principles of life to materialize the things you build spiritually, you can't become successful. Like mentorship, the principle of focus, time, the law of the soil, growth, multiplication. These are all natural principles that you have to obey for you to materialize, transfer the spiritual success you have into the physical dimension. And there's also one aspect of it, what I call virtues. Virtues is very important. Virtues like character, morality, attitude. These things sustain your life. It protects it and it prolongs it. So you can build a great life, but if your character is defective, you will destroy the great life you built. You can build a great life, but if you don't have the right morality, with time you can lose all that you've spent your years building. And you've seen people like that who are able to build a great life, a great name, a great legacy, until a flawed character exposed them and they lost everything that they have created. So for you to become successful, remember, you have to start building your life spiritually. Then you have to obey the principles of life. Then you have to have the right virtues that will sustain what your hard work have built. Thank you for this session. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. We believe you've been blessed by this power packed message. Until next time, stay blessed.